So you've been in the situation where you've opened your results in A-levels and you weren't too pleased with your results. I've been there, and it's a super hard situation to be in. And after a lot of self-debating, you then realize that retaking year will be the best option for you in order to boost those grades up. But now you're considered as a year 14 or even year 15 student, and you're starting to feel like you're falling behind everybody, and you start to compare yourself with the lower years, and it's starting to affect your motivation to work. Well, in this video I want to talk to you about how I managed and coped with motivating myself as a year 14 student, and honestly tell you guys that it isn't the end of the world and you're going to be alright. So what worked for me is that every day after school I would stay behind for an extra 1 or 2 hours to accomplish at least one productive thing, like do something. And even if I ended up procrastinating, or if I ended up chilling with some friends, or ended up chilling with the people, in detention, at least I would have done something. And since I started doing this like every day, it became a routine that I would just go after school, and I would no longer look at work as a choice. Like, I would look at it as the same way that I brush my teeth, you just do it. I also started saying this to myself: I'm a year 14 student, and as a year 14 student, I am going to work harder than everybody else and prove to myself and to my parents and to the teachers that I'm able to go to a prestigious university one day. So what you want to do is extend your timetables every day by staying after school for 1 or 2 hours to accomplish something. If you're somebody who actually is in year 14 like me, and you're retaking your A-levels, you'll actually start to become friends with the people who stay behind after school. And for me, it was typically the people in the lower years, and I ended up having a conversation or two with them, then more and more conversation, and we just naturally became friends. And once my year officially left for university, I was alone pretty much. But since I stayed after school and made friends with the lower years, I didn't feel alone. I felt like I was still with people. And obviously this will depend on every sixth form, and it depends on the people, right? But it's honestly worth staying behind after school to do work, but unintentionally make friends. Like, I didn't do it to make friends. It's just a byproduct of staying behind after school, and this really helped me with the social aspect of year 14. So I do recommend, if you are in year 14 and once your friends leave the sixth form, you'll have to adapt somehow, and I really think that staying after school is one of the best ways you can do it. My sixth form had the luxury of having a hot drinks machine, and you'd have to pay 20p for like a nice cup of hot chocolate, coffee, mocha, all that good stuff. And every day I'd have like 2 to 4 hot drinks. So if you're in sixth form and you have the luxury of hot drinks, I would definitely take advantage of those substances. You see your mate with like a nice cup of hot chocolate, you woke up so early to get to sixth form, right? You're in the common room, you're chilling, you see your mates with like hot chocolate, you see the steam coming out of the cup, you see them drink it, you see the chocolate on their upper lip, you ask them, yo, how much is that? And they respond, yo, it's 20p, fam. 20p! 20p for that! Yo, give me one. You just want one? Also, from a productive standpoint, it actually helped me focus. As I said, I would work 1 to 2 hours every day after school, but that doesn't mean that I'm fully focused for that 1 to 2 hours, So hot drinks was like a way for me to stay calm, yet gave me sufficient amount of energy to push a little further. My school days were like from 9 to 3, that's 6 hours, right? So doing another 1 or 2 hours, I'm probably already knackered from the day, and a nice cup of hot chocolate was just, I might be sounding old, but it's just nice. Obviously, if you don't drink coffee, or you're not 9 years old, or you just have a hatred for hot chocolate, then obviously don't do it. The best analogy that I can come up with is that sixth form is a place where you earn your golden ticket to go to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Alright, let me explain. It took me like a whole 5 minutes to articulate. Firstly, I'm 100% sure that you've watched Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I mean, if you weren't one of those people who weren't hyped when the dinner lady pushed in the TV trolley in primary school and your teacher, you're like, Miss, what are you watching? And she says Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and everyone's like, oh. If you weren't hyped for that, then I don't know what to say about you, man. Basically, the analogy is that everybody has the opportunity to get the golden ticket, and you can even be the worst type of kid. You can be like Augustus, Mike, Veruca, Violet. You can be one of those 4 kids and not know it. You could be that very demanding person. You could be, blaming everybody for everything and everything, and you just, as a person, you just want to, slap some respect in them, you know what I mean? Just here's some values. In terms of being in sixth form and in terms of being in year 14, the golden ticket is your offer to go to university. The point is that you gotta learn how to humble yourself. You gotta learn how to be more productive, to have good study habits, so that, when you do get to university, when you do get those grades, you'll end up just being a more mature, confident, and you just end, I don't know why I've got the slip. I don't know why I've got the slipper, but you just be like a better person, you know what I mean? Use that golden ticket and use that opportunity and then make the most out of it, so then when Willy Wonka would choose you. And if you don't know already, Willy Wonka is the metaphor, or like symbolizes like your teachers, your universities, and your friends. You want to serve as an inspiration to people, and that's what you will be when you're staying behind after school, and when people are actually seeing you grind and hustle. And honestly, people came to me and asked me, like throughout sixth form, people asked me like, oh, how do you do it, Aldrich? How do you stay behind after school? How do you, sit at lunchtime, break time, when your friends have just moved to university? Like, people ask me these questions, and I'd answer them the same way. I'd answer, I'm here to secure a place in one of the prestigious universities in the UK. No matter the year 14 setback, because everybody will peak at different times in their lives. Obviously, you shouldn't be multitasking because it's gonna affect your focus and blah 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 blah, but I know you're gonna do it anyway. And to be fair, I also do it till this day as a final year student at uni. What most people do is that they put on a show that they've never watched before, or they want to watch. Like, they have to, a show or a movie or whatever, where they have to pay attention to it, you know what I mean? But the problem here is that you'll end up shifting too much of your focus to your Netflix rather than to your work. So the solution to this is, if you're bored, right, of work, or you're just finding it so hard to motivate yourself and you gotta do work, have your work beside you and then use your phone and watch something you already know. So that way you don't feel the need to constantly pay attention to the series, and you're more focused on your work because you already know what's gonna happen, right? You've already watched it, so you can treat it like background noise. And I do this with One Punch Man, I do this with just Friends, or definitely do it with Friends, I do it with How I Met Your Mother, I do it with some TV series that I've already binged in the past. And this is what helped me, make studying, a little more fun. So it kind of just feels like I'm chilling at home, but I'm also doing work. But I don't do this all the time. There's obviously some times where I'm in the zone, so I'll put my phone away. But there's gonna be times where I know I have to do work, but I can't be asked to do work. So to bridge that gap and that commitment, right, I just put like a show on just to kind of give me that initial boost. And then once I feel like I need to focus more on my work, then I just turn my phone off or put it in my bag and then continue doing work, and maybe that'll work for you. You've reached this point of the video. Not many people get to this point, but what I want to say at the end is you're probably a year 14 student, and you're probably somebody who is actually retaking the year, and you understand the bitterness, that bitter flavor of being in year 14, and that feeling of being left behind, and you know what I'm talking about. But I want to tell you that it's actually a bitter sweet scenario and flavor, because you've not tasted the sweet part. That sweet part will come, and what I mean by the sweet part is you'll learn so much about yourself. You'll become a more mature person, and you'll become a lot more confident, because once you do get your results, and you end up going to your dream uni, you're just gonna feel over the moon. I know, I've been there, and now I'm trying to give you my advice. If you found this video useful or inspiring in some way, you can show your appreciation by liking this video. I really do appreciate it, and consider subscribing if you want to hear more Year 14 content, where I go in depth about the social aspect, how to make friends with the lower years, the mindset, how to stop these negative thoughts, and how to just push forward, like how I coped, how I just kept my head held high, what I did in my spare time that really helped me, right? Do subscribe. I will share this kind of information and content in the future. Thank you for watching to the very end. I hope you and your family are safe in lockdown, and I hope you had a decent bonfire night. Alright, take care of yourself, I'll see you in the next video. Safe.